and accepted him fully because he's a devotee of Krishna. But because I also desperately wanted to see Krishna, and Krishna is not coming. Now is opportunity for me because Krishna devotee is coming. I know if you put a devotee in anxiety, you're going to cry, Krishna! You're not going to call somebody else. Krishna! And Krishna must appear. Because a devotee will call Krishna with intensity. This one I say, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Devotee will not do that. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. That's intensity. Immediately Krishna will appear. So Samudra Sena, so I will pay the tax later. Before then, I'm going to fight Bhishma. I know he's not good at arrows. He's good with club, but I'm not going to fight with club. I will fight with arrows. In this way, I will make him helpless. They will cry, Krishna. Krishna will appear. So his plan worked. So when Bhim Sena came to his kingdom and announced the message from Yudhishthira Maharaj to pay the tax, he said, I'm not going to pay the tax. I'm not going to pay. Before I will pay the tax, I have to defeat me. But how will I surrender to him? We were warriors. So they fought severely, and Bhim is not good at arrows. His tennis is club. Samudra Sena perplexed Bhim Sena. He cried, Krishna! Immediately shouted Krishna. The spirit, Krishna appeared. So Samudra Sena stopped fighting. Fell down from his chariot and offered his senses. Bhim Sena was surprised. I didn't fight him. Why? When he saw Krishna. So Krishna fulfilled his desire. What do you want? Tell him. Love for you. I need. It's difficult to get you. So I know I will get you to a devotee. So I need blessing. So in this way he got Krishna. I got a desire by putting devotee in a helpless condition. Devotees, if we are devotee, must surely cry to Krishna. A devotee will run to Krishna with difficulty. So sometimes, many times you see devotee, Krishna puts the devotees in helpless situation. And they will cry to Krishna desperately. In that way, Krishna will appear. We have such things from our scriptures. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 5. Chapter 5 is dealing with Narada Muni and yesterday. Yes, Narada. Text number 19, purport. Prabhupada said, 1519. The purport, Prabhupada said, in the Bhagavad Gita, it is also said that such fallen devotees are given a chance to take birth in a family of highly qualified Brahmins or in a rich mercantile family. A devotee in such a position is not as fortunate as one who is chastised by the Lord and put into a position seemingly of helplessness. The devotee who becomes helpless by the will of the Lord is more fortunate than those who are born in good families. The fallen devotees born in a good family may forget the lotus feet of the Lord because they are less fortunate. But the devotee who is put into a fallen condition is more fortunate because he swiftly returns to the lotus feet of the Lord, thinking himself helpless all around. So helplessness is Krishna's causeless mercy upon a fortunate devotee. Letter of devotion, Sri Rupa Goswami, he explains that a pious living entity, or particularly, say, devotee, yes, pious living entity. If a pious living entity had difficulties, he will do what? He will pray to God, Krishna, please help me. Impious living entity, it means both devotee and non-devotee. They're pious. Impious living entity, if they have difficulty, he will curse God or become agnostic. There's no God. If there's God, why am I suffering like this? A pious living entity, if this, oh God, please God, oh God, oh Krishna, Krishna, please. Particularly for devotees. When a devotee is in a helpless condition all around, look all the situations, it is called the dark night of the soul. I mentioned it, the dark night of the soul. A situation where one is completely helpless. There go brothers, you go sisters, talking ill about you, or they have said something which you did not do, and they have made it look real. And the special master seems to agree with it. Right? GBC agree with it. Everybody agree with it. You are alone. Where to turn to? You pray to Krishna, it seems it's not. Krishna has also joined the group. Krishna is not with you. The guru is not there. All your leaders are not there. Everybody, this person, he did it. And sometimes it may be punished. What to do at that state? That is the state of helplessness. When one is helpless all around, Papa said, helpless all around. Helpless all around means what? All. The guru believe it, Christian believe it, they pray, Christian, please protect me. But you are still punished. Will you say Christian had the prayer? No, if he had had the prayer, he would have let everything happen in your favor. But you are punished for the thing you did not do. That means Christian also agree. Christian did not protect you, Guru didn't protect you, GBC, all 3%, all brothers and sisters, everybody. Everything is bruising. That state of helplessness, that is the best time in one's life because the decision they make at that time will take you, it will say, skyrocketed you to Goloka, or it will skyrocketed you back to hell. So that is the best time when one is helpless in Christian consciousness. One will cry to Krishna from their heart. So helplessness is wonderful. But Krishna will do it according to the level of devotion. So see Samudra Sena and see Bhimsena. The situation was tense. He showered arrows on Bhima. Bhima was completely helpless. All his chariot broken, everything finished, the weapon broken from his hand. What to do? Krishna. It is then Krishna here. Helplessness, the state of helplessness. It's a good time for devotee. Because then the devotee will prove where we belong to in our Christian consciousness. We start to think, should I go to Shiva? Should I go back to my parent? Should I go to who? Yes, at least my parent will not reject me. Yeah, I should go back to my parent. At least they will not reject me. If they reject me, I'll beg them. Yeah, my mother will accept me. Right? All this will come to the mind. A devotee will remain, come what may, whatever is happening. I will still say yes to Krishna. That is Bhakti. Actually, that is the meaning of transcendence. That is the meaning of transcendence. Transcendence means when all situations pushing us in all directions to that state of helplessness and looking all around, there is no hope. One is hopeful. That is transcendence. Now I remember Prabhupada. It is in you. In you. Prabhupada seems to be showing great arguments. You see, this situation is helpless. But you know me, I'm always hopeful. So a devotee can be helpless, but not hopeless. A devotee is helpful, but hopeful. Is hopeful that these are challenges I have to pass through to become successful in my Christian consciousness. So a devotee is hopeful because we know our faith in Krishna has to be challenged to prove what is the quality of our faith, what is the quality of our surrender, what is the quality of our depending on Krishna. So helplessness will prove that. So Prabhupada says, this is a hopeless case, but I'm not hopeless. I am hopeful. I'm hopeful. In all directions, everything seems to go against us, but I'm hopeful. I don't give up like that. That is the situation with Mr. N. It was a hopeless case and helpless. The devotees were completely helpless. The government were harassing. Mr. N was harassing. The mosquitoes were harassing. Snakes were harassing. The mind was harassing. So where to belong to? And the special master is not there. If he's there but physically, yeah, okay. Yes, the Prabhupada was not there. After he set the fire, he was in now. But Prabhupada said, I'm hopeful. I'm not helpless. I'm not hopeless. Helplessness is there. A devotee should come to that stage. Helplessness. That is arranged by Krishna himself. So Hanuman in a Brihad Bhagavatamrita, Hanumanji was speaking to Narada Muni. Narada Muni came and said, "Oh, Hanumanji, you are the best devotee, O Lord Ramchandra. You're the best devotee. You got all the message from Ramchandra." Hanuman said, "Oh, why do you remember me this? Why do you remember me? If I'm the best disciple, if I'm the best servant, he took Sugriva, he took Ayodhya resident, he took everybody, but he left me here. If I'm the best, but I'm here. I'm helpless. I'm helpless. He left me here. I'm helpless." The real devotees who have the mercy, they're the Pandavas, not me. Narada, I'm an animal. What philosophy do you expect from me? You know it all. You know it all. Don't you see? Or Krishna put the Pandavas into a helpless situation. They are completely helpless. All troubles are on their head. And in this, Krishna proved the quality of their tolerance. Why? Because they depended on Krishna. Their helplessness made them to depend more on Krishna. And as a price for that, Krishna became their messenger. Do I have that situation? Do I have that situation? Krishna is their own messenger. They prove the quality of their tolerance. They can tolerate any difficult situation Krishna put on their head because they depended on Krishna. Therefore, they have the strength to carry everything happily, joyfully, without complaint. And their mother is begging Krishna, please increase the intensity of our helplessness so we can depend more on you, bring more problems. Do I have that fortune? I don't have. Because the level of my dependence is not strong like it. Helplessness. That is the costlessness of Krishna. And duty become well. And Krishna will not do that. We mentioned before. Antagonistics. Antagonistics. They will hate Krishna. But devotees will cry to Krishna. Krishna is cry. So if we are not helpless, we're not going to pray from the heart to Krishna. Helplessness will help us to pray sincerely with the whole heart to Krishna. If you have something to hang on to, we're not going to depend on Krishna fully because there's somewhere to depend on. That is why Krishna requested full surrender. If you're not full, if you're not full, then you're not depending on me. You're depending on somebody else. And Krishna also did that in the Bhagavad Gita. When Arjuna was speaking to Krishna, Krishna kept quiet. Arjuna was talking, Krishna kept quiet. You're talking to me, but you still depend on me yesterday. You don't depend on me. You're talking. Krishna kept quiet. Krishna didn't say anything. Allow him to talk, whatever he has to talk. This is helplessness. Until Arjuna declares himself helpless, Krishna, I cannot do this. I don't know what to do. Helpless. So Krishna, okay. Now I can talk to you. Helpless. And he declared, Krishna, apart from you, I don't know anyone who can take me out of this situation. Only you. So, Hare Krishna. Now we begin. Helplessness. It is now we begin. When he was talking and was having interest in this and that, Krishna did not come in at all. Only when one becomes helpless, completely helpless. Papa said they're all around. Helplessness all around. We're already giving you the all around what it means. Everyone is against you. Everyone believe that what they said about you is true. Everyone. When Krishna came in and gave Arjuna the Bhagavad Gita, he took him out. The frustrated, despondent, bewildered person who is completely helpless became strong, that is ready to fight whoever is there in his front. Whoever is there to fight. I'm ready now. That empowerment, that blessing comes from helplessness. Yes. Rupa Goswami. Rupa Goswami expressed his helplessness. Krishna, I'm not born in the Brahmana family. Krishna, I don't follow the path of Bhakti, which will help one to develop love for you. I don't. I don't have intelligence to understand, nor do I have the good fortune to have an association with their devotees. There's nothing. There's nothing. This is helplessness. But I'm hopeful. Still, in this my helpless situation, I am hopeful that I'll get something. How do you call that? A sabanda. Hope against hope. It is from helplessness. Helpless. He expressed his helplessness. There's nothing. There's nothing wonderful about me. There's nothing. This is helplessness. There's nothing. Look around me. There's nothing. There's nothing you can find that shows that, yes, this is where you can begin to help me. There's nothing. This is me. That helplessness is Krishna consciousness. Then Krishna comes in. The causeless mercy comes in. So you look at all our chariots, how they express their helplessness. At the same time, hopeful. One thing is to be helpless, another thing to be despondent. So beware that you have no hope, you have no future. When we see Prahlad Maharaj in the seventh canto of Bhagavatam, Prahlad, he also expresses helplessness to Lord. The Singhadev. Although I have no qualification for serving you for anything, for devotional service, I don't have single qualification for devotional service. There's nothing about it. But he was hopeful. He was hopeful that yes, I still pray should give me service. That service will create my fortune to become a devotee. Helplessness. For devotee, they are also hopeful. Oh, I'm so useless. Oh, Guru, see, I'm so helpless. I'm so useless. I'm completely useless. I can't do anything. That is not devotion. It's not a healthy helplessness. Healthy helplessness is spiritual, it's devotion. It is a gateway for our liberation. Healthy helplessness is a gateway for our liberation. Open way for empowerment. Open the ways for us to be helped. The supreme man of Krishna will descend on our life. We'll come to that point. Right? So look at our chair. It's the bottom of the helpless, completely helpless. He expressed himself, I do not depend on my strength any longer. I'm tired. I surrender. I'm defeated. I'm completely defeated. Nothing. There's nothing. When I was a child, play was the ultimate. A little bit grown up, education was the ultimate. After that, marriage and working sanctification is the ultimate. With all this to this level, look, the news of my soul has choked me up to the net. What to do? What to do? This is my helpless condition. What is not to cover? When you look at his Gopinath songs, all of them are helplessness. Expressions of helplessness. Gopinath. Singing yesterday. Helplessness. You see, our children they express this in their life. They express all this state of helplessness, depending fully on Krishna. And everything became manifest. So they came to teach us the way. So we'll do ourselves good if we follow what they have established for us. Then again, we see in the same Canto 1, chapter 8, Kunti Devi's prayer, text 23, what said, Devaki, the mother of Krishna and sister of King Kamsa, was put into prison along with her husband, Vasudeva, because the envious king was afraid of being killed by Devaki's eighth son, Krishna. He killed all the sons of Devaki who were born before Krishna. But Krishna escaped the danger of child slaughter because he was transferred to the house of Damodara, Lord Krishna's foster father. Kunti Devi, along with her children, was also saved from a series of dangers. Why? They depended on Krishna. They depended on Krishna. We mentioned the other day, 18-day fight, 18 days fighting, heavy fighting. The intention is to kill, to annihilate. You didn't see one single crash on the body of the Pandavas. Why? That's the power of depending on Krishna. Krishna fully protected them, completely. It cannot be so expert in fighting somebody that you don't get the punch on your face. They say you're not fighting. Even if you win, it doesn't mean that they didn't get punches from the opponent. The Pandava didn't get one punch. Because of their depending on Krishna. They depended on Krishna. Everything. But Kunti Devi was shown far more favor because Lord Krishna did not save the other children of Devi, whereas he saved the children of Kunti Devi. This was done because Devi's husband Vasudeva was living, whereas Kunti Devi was a widow and was known to help her accept Krishna. The conclusion is that Krishna endows more favor to a devotee who is in greater danger. Sometimes he puts his pure devotees in such dangers because in that condition of helplessness, the devotee becomes more attached to the Lord. The more the attachment is there for the Lord, the more success is there for the devotee. So the more one becomes helpless in Christian consciousness, the more our attachment to Krishna becomes. So helplessness is a gateway for liberation, to do the impossible. To do the impossible. Even when we look at the situation with the sparrow. Even if we look at the situation of the sparrow, he became successful because of his helplessness. His bigger sister, Damodara, came and challenged. Hey, don't be. So you are looking at my sister as a tiny person. That's why you came. Bring her again, otherwise I will do it myself. I'm sorry. Please take helpless. With the power. Then Srimad Bhagavatam 3:26-7. Lord Krishna therefore says in Bhagavad Gita that Maya, his mental energy, is so forceful that it is insurmountable. But if a living entity simply understands that his constitutional position is to serve Krishna, and he tries to act on this principle, then, however conditioned may be, the influence of Maya immediately vanishes. This is clearly stated in Bhagavad Gita, 7th chapter. Krishna takes charge of anyone who surrenders to him in helplessness, and thus the influence of Maya or conditional life is removed. The more danger we are put in, the more helpless one will become. And the more one becomes helpless, the more attention we get from Krishna. The more attention we get from Krishna. Helpless. Krishna takes charge of anyone who surrenders to him in helplessness. Yes. So we mentioned in the beginning that we cannot surrender to Krishna if we're not helpless. Only one will help us. If I don't need help, I won't go to anybody. So it's only when you need help that you go to somebody. Excuse me, can you support me? I need some medicine. Sickness. Yes. So if you don't approach somebody, if you're not helpless, you can't approach somebody. Only when there is a need, when one is helpless, I have something which is beyond me. Then I have to look for somebody who is also above me to surrender to. Then the person will help me. If only inside the well, the person who is outside will take us out. When we cry for help, 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 help. You know, that is what Marichi did. Somebody shot him, cry, help, last man, help, help, last man, help. She said, yeah, see your brother is in danger. Go. Because he shouted help, right? Helplessness. Immediately, attraction will go there. Go, your brother is in danger. Last man said, no, that cannot be. My brother cannot. No. Now I know what you're doing, why you're following. Now I know. I know all this. Now it is very clear. It's not my assumption. Now it is clear. You've been following me because you want my husband to die so you can take over me. I've seen. Oh, that's my, it was more than dead for him. It's better that he was killed than to say this. You know, when he didn't do anything, and he didn't have anything like that in mind, and someone accused of that thing, how you feel? If he do it, so it's okay. But if he didn't do it and he accused, your heart is pierced with incurable people. The sword is like, when they, who is that? Who is that? Kavikanapura. He said, when you pour lime on the saw, how do you feel? Lime? If you pour lime on the saw, you have a wound, and you pour lime there, how do you feel? Very nice. Very sweet. Oh, you put pepper on it. At that point, you cry seriously for help. Help! And you get help. So also in Native Devotion, chapter 42, the Rupa Goswami talking about fraternal loving affairs. And then he was describing different things. So he also talked about helplessness. Swami talk about helplessness. An example of helplessness is described in the following statement. Due to Krishna's departure from Vrindavan to Mathura, Krishna's dearest cowherd boys felt as mentally light as possible. They were like fragments of cotton, lighter than the air, and we're all floating in the air without any shelter. This is utter helplessness. In other words, the minds of the cowherd boys became almost vacant on account of Krishna's separation. An example of impatience was also shown by the cowherd boys when Krishna went to Mathura. Out of the sorrow of separation, all these boys forgot to take care of their cowherding and tried to forget all the melodious songs they used to sing in the pasturing ground. Alas, they had no desire to live anymore, being separated from Krishna. They were helpless. They felt helpless and vacant. Their mind became vacant, helpless. What to do? They forgot everything. Their daily activity of heading the cars got helpless. And then the transcendental effect of the holy name. The Garuda Purana tells us, if one chant the holy name of the Lord, even in helplessness, or without desiring to do so, all the reactions of a sinful life depart. Just as when a lion roars, all the small animals flee in fear. You see, helplessness. This is the state of mind one should have if we want to get the mercy of the pure name to descend. You must chant in a helpless condition. Helpless condition. How to chant in a helpless condition. Confirmed by Garuda Purana. If one chant the holy name of the Lord, even in helpless condition, helpless. That is the state of chanting, that the name will take pity upon us and descend. Helpless. So we can see the importance of being helpless. It's great. And there are many situations in the situation. Our chariots, they express before Krishna as an example to teach us how to. So you remember so many examples of helplessness in is exhibited by our chariots, even ourselves. Isn't it? When you become helpless and cry, you get the attention of the parent. Immediately. When you cry out of helplessness, then you get the mercy. The mercy will certainly descend. So if we want to be successful in Christian consciousness, we have to come to this level of being helpless in our chanting, in our hearing, in our life in general, in Christian consciousness. We're helpless. It is then we will pray to Krishna seriously, sincerely, and we pray for help, for empowerment, for blessings, for mercy, for grace. I remember also Bhakti Natikura. Oh, hey, Vaishnava Thakur. Oh, Vaishnava Thakur. Alone, I have no strength to change the continuity of Krishna. I don't. There's no way I can change the continuity alone. I don't have. Therefore, I'm begging you, please, for the particular little, give me the treasure of the Holy Name of Krishna. Begged in a helpless condition. And he got the name. Hare Krishna. Comments?
Maharaj, can I ask a question?
Please. You have the right.
How can we feel helpless when everything is going well, when life feels good?
Very good. Very good question. We cannot feel helpless when things are going nicely. We cannot. That is punishment. Srila Prabhupada explained the first purport I read. Srila Prabhupada explained there that a person born in a family where all facilities for sanctification is there, he is not fortunate. And we have mentioned many times that we cannot make advancement at a peaceful time. We cannot. When things are going very nicely with us, materially speaking, we cannot make advancement. There's no advancement at a peaceful time. So, Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur explained that the fear of cancer. The fear of cancer. Actually, fear of cancer. That fear of cancer, it is very, very helpful for devotees. Because what does it mean? What does it mean to us? Fear of cancer. What does it mean in our own life as a devotee? He explains that when we are when we come to Krishna consciousness, we should try to see what is happening, because most of the time we don't see. That's why we should have good association so we can see what is happening around us every day. The holy name offers fulfill all desires. It means what? You get material things, positions, you become a guru, you become a sannyasi or GBC or director, president, project manager, Sankirtan leader. When some position is there, you also become very famous. Every devotee will know Bhakta this, Bhakta this, Bhakta this, Bhakta this. The whole day in the temple will be calling your name, Bhakta this, come, Bhakta this, come. Even as a new person, fame is there already, there, automatic. And you are serving a temple, you are building some temple. Oh, you're very famous. Oh, devotee is this, devotee is that, devotee is that. All flattery will becoming to you from all directions. So a devotee will think, yeah, this is the success of my bhakti. Why we become slack in our practice of Krishna consciousness? Become slack because of the material benefit we are getting from our practice. You get prestige, you get name, you get fame, you need to have money. In our days, Brahmachari has no money. These days, sometimes some temple Brahmachari have money. How will you call yourself a Brahmachari? The word title Brahmachari means one who depends on the Guru, not one who is materially established. That is not Brahmachari. But today we have. It is wrong. It's wrong. You cannot depend because you have all the verses. You cannot depend. And when you don't depend, there's no mercy. Mercy comes. So when we come to a Christian concept, we get all these things, then complacency comes in. We become complacent. Don't forget, our Gita 16:17, Krishna calls complacency a demon. Being complacent. 16:17. Atma Sambhavista Stabda. Complacent. So it is difficult to make advancement like this. So Vishwanath Chakrabarti Chakra say when a devotee becomes fortunate, they fear that I came to Krishna consciousness now, but see, look at the way I'm treating devotee because of my position. Look at the way I'm behaving now. See, I'm not chanting, and my japa is suffering. See, I don't attend lecture only when I'm going to hear when I'm going to speak myself. You see the life I'm living now. That is fear of cancer. That Krishna descend to help us become afraid that, oh, see, what is happening with me? I came to practice, but I'm not practicing. I'm doing something else. That is a fear cancer. At that time, there is a turning point. You become very careful, become very conscious of Krishna consciousness. And that would happen only when we have the mercy. If we are very, very sincere. But the Maya is heavy. This mercy will come. If you are not sincere, this mercy will come. And we'll continue like that until we become ordinary person, official devotee. So in this con also we have some official devotees. So it is difficult without the mercy of Krishna to make advancement. And we are having such a materially well-to-do position. Does it make sense?
Yes, thanks, Maharaj.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Maharaj, for this class. My question was that how do we differentiate ourselves between helplessness and laziness? Because many times I feel that I have so many attachments, and I purposefully do not give up. I know this is favorable and this is not favorable, but because I'm so attached to the unfavorable, I keep on doing that, and then I cry in front of Krishna that, I'm not able to do this, I'm not able to do that. But actually, in reality, I'm lazy. I'm not just giving it up. I do not have the conviction. So how do we help ourselves from not becoming lazy and becoming really helpless? Because that is laziness also in one sense.
Yes, laziness is there, like you mentioned. When we have things to do and we are not doing it, that's laziness. Helplessness is when everything you are trying but nothing is working. That is helplessness. I mean, Krishna is doing it, not that we are doing it. That is helplessness. We are trying our best. We're making a lot of effort, but nothing is working. Everything is going opposite direction. We try, nothing is working. We try this. And that is helplessness, not laziness. Laziness, we're not doing everything. Although there are so many facilities, so many opportunities for you to do something, but you're not doing it. Procrastinating. That is laziness. And that cannot bring empowerment. We may cry to Krishna, that is useless.
That crying won't bring any empowerment. Is that what?
Yeah, because it's foolishness. What empowerment are we going to get? Because even if Krishna gave us, we are lazy. Krishna gave us, we're not going to do anything with it. We will waste it. So Krishna will not give. Krishna give when we are serious. We're going to use it positively and make advancement. So what will he give? Just a waste. No intelligent person will go and keep his money to somebody who he has seen lazy, sleeping the whole day in the house. and I'll go and give you money to do business. No intelligent person will do that. Nobody will do it. But you see someone who is actively doing something, work, and the success is coming. And if you ask him for support, immediately do, because you know the success, you will succeed. So Krishna is the supreme person. He knows everybody. She won't get anything from this. That's so cry.
Also, Maharaj, I have heard that if we cannot really cry in helplessly to Krishna, then we should cry that we cannot cry helplessly to Krishna.
Yeah, that is helplessness. That is good. That's a practice. We have to start everything from beginning, from our conditioned state. We start pure bhakti from our conditioned state. So if you cannot cry purely for Krishna, we should cry that we cannot cry. That is wonderful. But not laziness.
Thank you so much, Maharaj. Thank you.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, can I ask a question, please?
Please go ahead.
So Maharaj, I had a few small points I wanted to clarify. So the first point is from Pratik Prabhu's question that you have Pratik Prabhu is talking about laziness, but my point would be more like taking things in my own hands. So you have calamities coming. Krishna knows best when to give these calamities, and you're supposed to be, as a sincere devotee, actually take this as a stepping stone. But often you take things in your own hands and you try to resolve these problems. So where do you stand with this? Do you like say, Krishna, I leave it to you, you sort the problem out, or do you take initiative and not be lazy and actually try to solve the problem? How would that be? Would that be a sincere sign of being helpless, or saying no, arrogance that I can sort the problem out? How would you take it?
Yes. Whenever a situation arises, whenever we have such a situation, first we have to try. Not trying means laziness. We have to sincerely try, make effort. So if we make effort and it doesn't work, make effort, it doesn't work. That means this is alignment to providence. Now you can surrender to Krishna. You do what you know is the best. You have a hand in this situation. It is your own plan. You have a lesson to teach me here. Please, my dear Lord, let me learn the lesson you want me to get from this. That is dependent on Krishna. That is also being helpless, but we have tried. This is positive. And then Krishna comes in and make everything very clear. We are taking things on our own head when we you don't see Krishna in anything in our life. We don't see anything. We don't see Krishna in anything. Everything we are the doer. So that is the mindset we have. We are the doer of everything. We are very powerful. Whatever happens, we can do it. That is a different thing. And that case will always remain in miseries because we are not going to do it.
Thank you, Maharaj. Maharaj, my second question is that to be helpless, do you have to first of all practice humility in perfection? Because how can you be helpless if you still are not very humble? So what would come first?
Yes, they will go together. The one who is helpless, that is where we have mentioned many times that for anyone to be humble, we need what? For anyone to be humble, we need humiliation. Humiliation will make one humble if we are sincere. Humiliation. Like we mentioned in the beginning, if you're not if we are not sincere, when we have challenges, we will not see Krishna inside. But if we are very sincere, when the humiliation comes, we'll accept it. We can say, yes, now I'm helpless. I cannot do anything. See, Indra tried the whole of his strength. He tried the whole thing within his power. He tried all the power within his position, but he didn't succeed. So he realized, oh, this is providence. I should stop here. I became humble because he was humiliated. So he became humble. So we will be helpless. We become helpless if we are practicing wisdom. The purification comes as we are getting purified. Humiliation comes, we appreciate it, and we become humble.
Thank you, Maharaj. Maharaj, also all our qualities come from Krishna. So I want to know where this quality of Krishna is being displayed of helplessness. I'm sure it is there. I can't see it.
Krishna himself being helpless?
Yeah, because all our qualities come from Krishna. I mean, if everything we have in us is originating from Krishna. So this helplessness is also there in Krishna, but I cannot see it in, there must be an example. Is there something that I could relate to?
Yes, there are many. There are many examples too. Krishna himself, Shuha is helpless. There are many. So I just show you one. Maybe two. Let me just show you two. Okay, I want to make it three. One is when Barahade was fighting with Hiranyaksha. When the Barahadev and Hiranyaksha were fighting, Hiranyaksha, with the whole of his strength, he gave a heavy knock on Varahadev, and his glove fell from his hand, and the Lord became helpless. Sukadeva Goswami glorified Hiranyaksha for this. That in the other day we're talking, demons, they have principle. The demons, they also have etiquette. The Lord Varahadev glove fell from his hand, and his back was towards Hiranyaksha. And Hiranyaksha is just having his own glove because he has given it to the Lord, and the glove fell from his hand, and he's also helpless. The back is there. What's the next thing? So hit him at the back there and finish him, but he didn't do that. Hiranyaksha waited. Go and take your glove and come back. He's not helpless. Varahadev was helpless here. Then Krishna himself, when he was fighting with Salva, Krishna was fighting with Salva in Dwarka. Salva was very experienced in his fighting. He created artificial Vasudeva and Devaki. He created them locally. They have power to do that. And somehow he brought them, like he arrested them and dragged them to the battlefield, and he killed the two of them. Krishna says, oh, my parent died. Balaram is not there. I asked him to stay there and protect. What happened? That means he also killed Balaram. What is that? Helpless. Krishna was helpless in this situation. There for a moment, oh no, this is nonsense. Then he killed Salva. Another one, when Srimati Rani disappeared from the Rasa dance, Krishna became helpless and was crying. Radha, come here. There is nothing like Rasa dance without you. I live in Braj because of you. Crying is what? helpless. So Krishna cried in helplessness of Srimati Radha's love. He cried openly, not just secretly. He cried openly. So in this way, Krishna showed the quality of being helpless. Then in Vrindavan, when Krishna hears the cow mew, Krishna run, mommy, mommy, mommy. What is that? Say helpless. Run to Mother Yashoda for protection. That is helplessness. And then Krishna cried because of hunger. Krishna cried, I'm hungry. Give me some butter. Mommy, give me some butter. I'm hungry. Then, in his Matsya incarnation, Krishna also showed helplessness. When was that? Priyabrata. Satyavrata Maharaj. When he was putting him back to the sea, no, please, protect me, please. I beg you, don't put me there. Don't put me there. Oh, big fishes are going to swallow me up. Please protect me. What is that? Helplessness. You want me to continue? Hare Krishna, our time has gone.
Maharaj,
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
My time is
Thank
over.
you,
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Maharaj,
Okay.
everything is amazing, wonderful. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Your classes are nectarian.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Maharaj, can I ask a small question which is important for me?
Okay, last one.
Maharaj, sometimes we do nonsense and then we cry to Krishna for help. But the nonsense has already been done. So how can we approach Krishna now?
Yeah, that is childishness. There's some of these things are childish activities. So we do something wrong and cry to Krishna for help. That is childishness. Intense was a spiritual life, not about our physical life. Physical life may be 100 years of age. Or we are crying, Krishna, please help me. In spiritual life, we are child. We are neophyte. Therefore, we do whimsical things and cry for help. It's okay, it's good. At least we know that somebody superior is there that can help us. So we should appreciate Christian position that can help us. So that is good. We should continue to do that until we become mature and people have childish activities and start acting as a man or as a woman. So the property.
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna Maharaj. Hare Krishna.
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna.
Maharaj. Thank you.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. Thank you.
Maharaj, thank you so much, Maharaj.
Thank you, Maharaj.
Thank you so much, Maharaj. Hare Krishna.
Krishna
Maharaj. Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam Maharaj.
Thank you, Maharaj.
Have a wonderful day and weekend.
Thank you so much, Maharaj.
Wonderful exam also, Maharaj. We are having Bhagavad Gita exam now on Tuesday.
Kindly bless us for that, Maharaj.
Yes, we wish you exam success.
Thank you.
Bye.
All of you.
Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam Maharaj.
Have a wonderful day.
Thank you, Maharaj.
Wonderful exam also, Maharaj. We are having Bhagavad Gita exam now on Tuesday.
Kindly bless us for that, Maharaj.
Go for the exam and you pass very nicely.
Thank you, Maharaj. Hare Krishna.
Maharaj, Hare Krishna.